What's up guys, Julia here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a proper email marketing funnel to grow your Shopify store. If you have no idea about email marketing, stick around. We're going to take it step by step. First, I'm going to break down the basics of email marketing. I'm going to show you what you can do with it, and then I'll walk you through the entire setup step by step. Now, before we dive in, if you still haven't signed up for Shopify, I'll leave the best current deal for getting started linked in the description. Right now, it's a 3-day free trial and then $1 for your first month. Otherwise, stick around and let's get started. Now, because we are talking about a funnel, we are actually going to go beneath the surface and we're going to work from the ground up. So instead of just showing you how to set up your emails, I'm also going to show you how to collect the emails in the first place, and then we'll go into driving traffic with emails so that we can turn those new subscribers into customers. I'll show you how to create super engaging pop-ups, how to set up all the automations, and lots of ways you can build out your customer base. The goal here is to help you boost your sales with new customers and also to grow your returning customer base so that existing customers also come back to buy more. And yes, you can do all of this for free. We're basically going to be using these emails as a very direct way to communicate with our customers. We can use it to share special offers, discounts, to announce product launches, or even just to present our existing catalog. We're also going to use it to send recovery emails. So for example, if a customer adds an item to the cart, but for some reason never completes that checkout, we're going to set up automated emails that get sent after that checkout is abandoned to try and win back that customer. There are lots of possibilities. You can also use email marketing to send so-called post-purchase emails. So if someone recently placed an order in your store, you can actually automate an email that gets sent a few days after that purchase is completed, inviting them for another shopping round. You can also use it to cross-sell and upsell products, and the tool I'm going to show you makes everything super easy and intuitive. We will be working with lots of advanced targeting and automation options, but no worries, we're going to break it down for beginners. Now, Shopify does have a built-in email marketing section within its dashboard, which is excellent for some basic automations. But to really take this to the next level, I want to show you everything that's possible. So in this tutorial, we're going to be using another platform that we can very easily integrate with Shopify. And that platform is called Omnisend. I'll leave it linked down below. Based on my research, this is one of the best email marketing tools for Shopify. It's very easy to use, it's very capable. I personally love it, and they do have a free plan we can use as well. So let's have a quick look at Omnisend. As you can see here, we can use it to send both emails and SMS. And the cool thing about Omnisend is that we get lots of different tools inside the same platform. We can use it to create pop-ups, newsletters, trigger automations, and the segmentation options are also very advanced. If you don't know what that means, no worries. I'm going to break down everything in a beginner-friendly way. So step number 1, find the Omnisend link in the description and click here to get started. Now here you're going to see a couple of different options. What we're going to do is click on Sign Up with Shopify. And this will take us directly into the Shopify App Store, where we can now install the Omnisend app to synchronize both platforms. Let's click to install. And here you're going to enter your account details. Once that's ready, just click on Get Started. And you'll be taken to this page where you can already customize some of your branding. So I'm going to click right here and select my logo. And now you can customize some of your brand colors. You can also change this to your brand's fonts. Once you have it, click on Save. And you'll be taken to this page where Omnisend gives us a few recommendations. So here, the first thing you'll see is collect subscribers on your website. This is how you're going to set up things like pop-ups and contact forms to start collecting email addresses. So quick story time, this is how I got my first sale. My very first sale came from a pop-up that I had set up in my store, sharing a first order discount. Someone saw the pop-up, entered their email address, and it wasn't until a week later that I actually decided to set up my first email sharing one of my collections. That person saw the email, clicked the buy button, went to my store, and actually bought a product. So my very first sale came from a pop-up and an email. Now, if you scale this to bigger numbers, that's where things can get even more exciting. So it really is an important strategy because it's completely free and it works very effectively. So let's go ahead and set this up for you. Let's click on Launch Sign Up Form. And you'll be taken to the form builder. So automatically, you'll see a typical basic pop-up template. And if you click on the blocks, you'll see we have the customization options on the side. And over here, you'll see all of the different things we can add to this pop-up. So the first thing we want to add is another block where the viewer can enter their first name. This is really important because later on, we want to personalize each email on a first name basis so that we can create a closer connection with our customers. So let's drag this block here on top. And I'm actually going to delete this top text as it's already clearly mentioned within the form. Alright, so now we have a simple pop-up we can work with. This is going to work out perfectly for a first order discount. But I do want to show you another option. If you click up here on Theme Settings and on Form Layout, you'll see we get the option to add a background image. So we get all of these different layouts. I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to click right here and select my file. Over here, you'll see something called a Wheel of Fortune. This is basically something your viewers can spin to win a discount, and it makes things very engaging. It adds a really nice gamified feeling to the pop-up, and it's typically very effective. I personally find myself really excited when I see these things, and it always pulls my interest. It just makes the experience more exciting. So this is going to be our second option. If you click here on the settings, here's where we can set up each discount. So in order to do this, you'd first have to create specific discount codes inside Shopify and then enter them here in the right placements. So as an example, if you want to include a 20% discount in the wheel, you can go ahead and create a discount code set to 20% inside Shopify and then enter that code over here in the 20% settings. So for each wheel option you set up, you create a Shopify discount code and then enter it here in the belonging area. If you'd like to do this, I'll leave a step-by-step tutorial on how to create discount codes linked for you in the description. And if you are using the wheel, you can change your pop-up title to something like Win a Discount or Get up to 50% off, or whatever your highest discount option is. Alright, next up, I'm going to show you the automation options for this pop-up. We can choose exactly when it's going to show, who is able to see it, and after what actions the pop-up is triggered. So there is a lot we can experiment with. To give you some ideas, if we have a simple first order pop-up, like this one, we could automate it so that it only appears to new visitors, so it wouldn't show to anybody who has already shopped in the store. As another example, if we are displaying a Wheel of Fortune, then we could automate it so that it only appears in a specific moment, like maybe when someone is about to exit the store, or when they click to view a product. There are lots of options you can work with, so let me show you how to do this. I'm going to go for a first order pop-up. So over here, we have the automation settings. You have to understand that the timing with pop-ups is everything. It's really important to get the timing right. If you make it appear too soon, like just after the viewer lands on the website, it's probably just going to annoy them and they'll end up closing it right away. So it's best to give them a bit of time, let them browse around, and give them a chance to create a connection with your store. Otherwise, they just won't have a reason to care about your pop-up. So let's go into the timing options. If you choose page visits, and enter, let's say, 2 pages, then the pop-up would appear after 2 pages of your site are viewed. Or you could make it appear after a certain amount of seconds have passed. So for example, you could say this pop-up is going to appear after 40 seconds of browsing. For a first order pop-up like mine, I would say this is a better option because you are not relying on them to click on a specific page. Maybe your homepage is already very interesting. So after 40 seconds of browsing, this will give viewers a bit of time to discover your store, and they're more likely to engage with this first order pop-up. Or you could use the scrolling setting, so that the pop-up appears after a certain percentage of your page has been scrolled through. What you can do is set it, for example, to 50%. So once they have scrolled through half of your page, the pop-up is going to appear. Another option is on the exit. So here's what's interesting about this. Omnisend is actually tracking where the viewer's mouse is going, and they can detect when the viewer is about to close your store or switch to another window. So you can use this setting to trigger your pop-up to appear every time a user is about to exit. So this can also be very effective. If you're creating the Wheel of Fortune pop-up, this can also be an interesting moment to show it. It might just grab their attention last minute. Or you could create a custom pop-up made specifically for this. You could say something like, before you go, here's a discount. So once again, there are lots of possibilities. You can select multiple of these settings in combination, but keep in mind that you don't want to annoy or overwhelm your viewers. So I recommend you use this sparingly. Now down here, you'll see the targeting settings. Here, you're basically choosing who is going to view this pop-up. So if you only want to show it to new customers, you can select this box. and it will only appear to people who have never shopped in your store, which is exactly what we want for a first order discount. And if you're creating a Wheel of Fortune pop-up, for example, then you probably want to show it to everyone. Down here on visibility, you can choose what devices this will appear on. I recommend leaving it on all devices, as lots of people nowadays are shopping from their phones. And the frequency lets you set a limit to how often this pop-up can appear. So as I mentioned, you don't want to be pushy or overwhelm your viewers. So if someone has already closed the pop-up, it's best to give it a break of 1 to 2 days before you try showing it again. Down here, you'll also see an A/B test feature, which is super amazing. It lets you compare the performance between 2 different versions of the pop-up, so you can start optimizing from the get-go. We'll stick with this version for now. Once it's ready, down here, we now move into the next phase of the pop-up, which is what comes after the viewer has entered their information and pressed the enter button. By default, here you will find a second form asking the user to enter their phone number. This is going to be very useful for SMS marketing, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a requirement. If you want to make it optional, you can go over here on the side and untick this box. And if you prefer, you can also delete this entire step down here. For this tutorial, we're going to keep it simple and remove this step. Now let's move on to the next phase. This is the thank you message users will see after completing the form. To change the text, you can click on it and just type what you prefer. Down here, you'll also see an additional phase saying you are already subscribed. I'm also going to delete this part as we don't really need it. Alright, now click on Enable Form. And the next step is to create a welcome workflow, which is the email your viewer is going to receive after completing the pop-up. So let's click on this. And here we have to choose the discount percentage we are going to give to our new subscribers. So if you wrote 10% in your pop-up, then select 10% here. Next, you can choose if you're going to add SMS or just stick to emails. For now, we're going to stick with email. And here, we can now see our first workflow. It says our first email is going to be sent 1 minute after the user subscribes. So let's have a closer look at this. Here on the right, click on these little dots and then click on Edit. This is basically a visual layout of how the automation is set up. First, we have the action, which is the user signing up on the pop-up, which triggers these specific filters. The flow then continues, so that after a minute, the welcome email is sent. Now, if we click here on the email box, here we can edit all the email information. First, we have the subject line, which is the title visible in your subscriber's inbox. It is important to make this very attention-grabbing, otherwise the viewer is just not interested in opening it, because it's based on this that the viewer decides to click on it. If you need some extra ideas, you can ask ChatGPT to help you come up with subject lines. Then your pre-header is basically a small preview of what's inside. To keep it simple, you could just enter the beginning of your email's text, or also use ChatGPT for additional ideas. Here we have the sender, which should be your store's name. And if you want to receive replies into a different email address, you can tick this box and enter that here. Now let's go ahead and customize the email. We're going to click right here, and it'll open the email builder. To make this a little bit more interesting, you could add this product recommender block, which will automatically feature some of your best-selling products. And here on the sidebar, you can choose how many products you want to show and in how many columns they will appear. Now for all of the text to look better, I'm going to select each block and center it. I'm also going to change the background's color of the section, just to create a bit of structure. And now I'm also going to update my fonts to get my brand feeling across. When that's ready, click on Update. And we can now close the editor. Now the next recommended step is to launch an abandoned cart workflow. Just to quickly explain this, if someone is browsing through your store, adds something to the cart, but for some reason doesn't complete their checkout, this workflow will send an automatic sequence of emails to try and recover that purchase. And the main reason for cart abandonment typically has to do with surprise shipping costs. So what you can do is use these emails to offer a surprise bonus discount, which could be enough to win back that customer. So let's get into this. First, we're going to choose how much of a discount to give in this situation. And here, you can choose to add SMS into your workflow, which can be very effective. Just keep in mind, you are going to need to have credits if you want to use SMS. We'll be going over this in the end of the video. For now, I'm going to choose yes. And the workflow is active. So now, you will see we have a workflow for abandoned carts and abandoned checkouts. The abandoned carts workflow will send out the first email 1 hour after the customer adds an item to cart. Okay, so they add an item to the cart, 1 hour passes, the email gets sent. And the abandoned checkout workflow will send out the first email 1 hour after the customer starts their checkout. So in other words, the customer initiates checkout, doesn't complete it, and 1 hour later, the first email of the sequence is sent. So let's have a closer look at this. Let's go to the first workflow and click here on the 3 dots. Now let's hit edit, and the settings will open. As you can see, this flow is a little bit more complex than our welcome series because we have multiple phases. Instead of just one action in one email, we have an entire email sequence. So here we have the action and the trigger, which is when the customer adds an item to the cart. And then we have the first email that is sent just after the cart is abandoned. Then after 11 hours of waiting, which you can also customize here, another email is sent as a reminder. And after another 12 hours, the final email reminder is sent with a special discount as the final offer. If you want to change the look of these emails and edit the content, you can click on them and follow the same steps we've covered previously to match it with your brand's aesthetic. Once your emails are ready, you can close the workflow and repeat the process to edit the other one. Now the final recommended step is driving traffic to the store with an email. If you remember my first sales story, this was the final step that drove the customer to my store and led to my first sale. So this is a very important part. Alright, so let's click on Create New Campaign. And here you'll see all of your campaign options. You have regular email, A/B test, so you can find out what works better, SMS, and push notifications. First, we are going to click on email. And here you'll see some pretty straightforward settings. Enter your subject line. Then enter your store's name, your preview text, and your campaign name, which is just for you to keep things organized behind the scenes. And here you can choose a nice template to build on. Now you can follow the same steps we've learned previously to customize this email. You can update the background image, change the fonts, buttons, and whatever else you need to do in order to align it with your brand style. These templates are really well designed, so with a few simple tweaks, you'll have something super professional. Once that's ready, click here to finish. And now you can choose if you want to send it to all subscribers or only to a specific group. In email marketing, a specific group of subscribers is called a segment. And segments are very, very important. So let me quickly show you how this works. Click on Create a Segment. And then here on the menu, click on Segments. Now hit Create. And here you'll see a lot of pre-built segments you can use. These are basically groups of customers you can target when building specific strategies. For example, here we can create a group or a segment for customer birthdays. So whenever it's a customer's birthday, you could send out a special birthday offer all on automatic. Or another idea is creating emails only for customers in a specific location. So with this segment, you could target only customers in Europe. Or if you have certain high-value subscribers that tend to spend more than your average customer, you could use this segment to share super special offers only with these kinds of special customers. There are lots of possibilities here, so the best segments for you will depend on where you're at. And no worries, there's no need to set up all of these at once. Just take it one step at a time, and you can slowly build this as you grow. Now, if we go back to the Omnisend dashboard, you'll also see it's possible to add reviews to your store. So if you haven't done this, I highly recommend you do so. Reviews are super powerful and they can really help boost your conversion rates. And finally, if we click up here, you'll see we are currently on a free plan, and this is what it comes with. You get 500 free emails with a free refill every 30 days. We get $1 in SMS credits and 50 reviews that can be added to the store. So if you are just getting started, the free plan is perfect. Now let's have a look at the paid plans. And just a quick heads up, if you want to go for one of these plans, I have a discount code you can use down in the description, which will give you 20% off on either of these plans. Alright, so here you will see we have the email plan and email plus SMS. The email plan costs $16 per month. You get to reach 500 of your contacts in a single month. You can send 6,000 emails during that month, 60 one-time SMS, meaning one SMS and not a whole sequence of them, unlimited web push, which are basically push notifications, and 1,000 published reviews, which is incredible. You also get to remove the Omnisend branding, and you get 24/7 live chat support. Then the email plus SMS plan costs $59 per month, and it's clearly meant for high-volume senders. You can reach up to 2,500 contacts per month. You get unlimited emails, 3,540 text messages, unlimited web push, and unlimited reviews. You also get to remove the Omnisend branding, 24/7 live chat support, priority support, and advanced reporting for deeper analytics. So this is a more high-volume option. Once again, if you want to sign up for either of these plans, I'll leave a discount code you can use down in the description. Alright, that's all for this video. If you still haven't signed up for Shopify, just a quick reminder, I'll leave the best current deal for getting started linked down in the description. Right now it's a 3-day free trial and then $1 on your first month. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. If so, make sure to hit that like button. It'll be super appreciated. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to leave them down in the comments and I'll do my best to help you out. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.